scene outside my bedroom window brings me comfort. It is a familiar recognition of my school and my home. From this vantage point, I can see the playground, the area where the pond used to be, and Bridges Hall, that brings back memories of childhood and my first taste of freedom. I picture the hill that climbs up to Ogilvy, that continues down to Richardson, the road that leads me home, the same road that leads me out into the world, which is a path that I have probably taken 100 times and more. As I look around, I realize that the trees are likely the only things that have remained unchanged. Steady, towering, I can only imagine what they must have witnessed and missed staying in one place. And the sky in its vastness. I drown in its endless possibilities and chase around the stars that hold my dreams. The days we remember are those that struck a chord in our heart. Today is one of those days. For today, we graduate. From the days of lower school, playing games in the playground, to middle school, eager to try new things, feeling like we had all the time in the world, to upper school, and IB, when we experience greater challenges and overcome even bigger obstacles. These all lead to this day, so that we are able to say, we made it. Mr. Dick Robbins, Mrs. Ursula Dowie, the Board of Trustees, parents, teachers, friends, family members, guests, and fellow classmates, good morning. Today we graduate from high school and take the first steps as young adults into the rest of our lives. High school has been memorable, exciting, at times fun, hectic, challenging, and confusing. Brent had become familiar, comfortable, and safe. As graduates, we look out into the crowd, to the familiar faces, and can identify the people who have influenced our lives and have helped us become the people we are today. We would like to thank everyone for the love, the support, and the encouragement, for proving us wrong every time we said, I can't. We would first like to thank God for being there at the best and the worst times in our lives, for our families and those we consider family, for the unconditional love, for the teachers, for providing us with the tools necessary to succeed in life, and for always telling us to hope and be the best people we can be. For our coaches that taught us the values of hard work and teamwork. For the manongs and manongs who work hard to make us feel comfortable here. And for our friends, for the laughter, the memories, and for being there through it all to make high school so much more enjoyable. It's hard to think that this is the end. After all the lessons, the memories, after all the IB papers and sleepless nights finishing studio outputs and integrations. We are the class of 2010. We are the class that always seems to be late for everything. We are the class that has had tragedy strike us twice at a time when we had barely even grasped the concept of death. We are a class of diversity. So we have athletes, musicians, writers, and artists, future doctors, nurses, and chefs. We are the class that can't seem to make up their mind, but every now and again, we show that we can be united. We can take control of things that we find important. We are the class with big expectations. We walked into our classes on our first week of IB with the teachers telling us to aim high, 5s, 6s, and 7s, because they believed in us and warned us not to show our faces to them if we get lower than a 3 or a 4. We are the class of leaders, of leadership that comes not just with seniority, but with a capability and an eagerness to be great. It's going to be difficult to pick up and start again. To be honest, I was afraid of this day. Sorry. I always thought this would be a day of sadness. It is. But it's also a day of celebration. of accomplishment, of relief. I was afraid that everything I'd become used to, the familiar faces, the buildings, would all be behind me. But I realized that's not the case. I was afraid that the scene outside my bedroom window would change without me being a part of it. But I know this is always a place I can come home to, and I'm sure that's the same for you graduates. So I always had a lot of expectations for myself. I made a list of things I would do before I graduate, everything I would do before I grow up. I had everything from being an astronaut to traveling the world. But surprisingly, writing the speech wasn't part of it. And there were a lot of setbacks too. Every now and again, I would doubt my own capability. But with the combined effort of my loved ones and my own self-determination, I learned that even failure reaps rewards. We may not be able to win every battle we fight, but every time we try, we gain experience. We learn lessons and try again, even stronger than before. We owe it not only to the people who have encouraged us all our lives to go out there and fulfill our ambitions, but we owe it to ourselves. For 18 long years we frequently asked, what's the point? And honestly, I can't tell you what that is, but I challenge you to go find out what it is. Wendy Wasserstein once said, don't live down to expectations. Go out there and do something remarkable. I want to make a change. That's always what I've been telling myself. And while those convictions had been sincere, the only ones in control of our lives is ourselves. So guys, graduating class of 2010, all I can say as a student myself is to believe in yourself. Because there were so many times in my life when I thought I didn't have what it takes. And so many times when I just proved myself wrong. So now, look outside the chapel windows. The view's gorgeous, clean, green, wide, and filled with endless possibilities. That's the rest of our lives waiting for us. And though we may not necessarily be able to interact with that scene every day, the thought that we still have a place to come home is enough encouragement. It's our time now, class of 2010. Congratulations. Now let's go out there and do everything we aim to do, no longer as children, but as adults. Responsible and independent. And no matter where we end up, where we came from, you just remember where you came from, because this is where we start. In this little school atop a magic mountain. Thank you.